multiplex. Your boy, you see next how that mag and shoddy work. Can't rid this smell with bath and body works. It's sad and probably worse. First the chroma spit. Wise guys do drive-bys and don't own a whip. Time come, divine sons need a song to rip. Thugs in harmony, cool, I got a bone to pick.
Vlogs, battles, music videos, interviews, and much more. Pushing the culture forward. No Mercy TV. G-Unit in the house, Bad Newz. 50 Cent in the house, Bad Newz. Lloyd Banks in the house, Bad Newz. Man, oh man. Bad news. Bad news, bad news, bad news. I know I'm kind of late doing a solo blog on this whole situation, but this shit is sad. This shit is sad. You feel what I'm saying? So as y'all know, last week T-Top had the no cut card. Bad Newz was set to battle Ave, right? Jack Boy basically ends up putting out the paperwork, basically showing that when Bad Newz got hit back in 2018, that he actually told and he actually identified the person, and it was a police report that Jack Boy had showed. It went out there, and there's a photo lineup. The detective showed Newz 4 pictures. Newz took the they went outside, and Newz was like, yo, it was number 4 that shot me, whatever, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's black and white. You can't compare it to other situations, the kid slave shit. Like, no. Bad Newz is not, there's not no gray area, it's not no maybe. You told. You understand what I'm saying? That's just what it is, Newz. Like, you gotta accept that. You told. It don't matter if he did time or if he beat the case or whatever the case is, you told. Like, it says in the police report that this case is closed by the arrest of whoever, Father Wise is. You feel what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? So as somebody who looked at Bad Newz as like one of those official guys in battle rap, somebody who come across like they live what they rap about and shit like that. That for me was shocking. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I've booked Bad Newz in the past. One thing I could tell you has always been professional. He promotes his battles. He's always even just shown that he's appreciative of the opportunity, to be able to get paid to rap. You feel what I'm saying? And I respect that. You feel me? In terms of like, somebody who comes from the trenches or whatever, and can work themselves into a position to where now they can get paid to showcase their talent. You know what I mean? So it's sad to see him work his way up to all this, and then now everything just come crashing down on him. And this ain't about being messy. This ain't about battle rap being filled with drama. No. We just handle the situations as they come across. You feel what I'm saying? He did what he did. He got hit and he told. You feel me? When you sign up for the streets, it ain't no telling, especially when you gang this, gang that. That's a part of the code. You feel what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy because, even me, I speak as like full-blown civilian. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the streets or anything like that. I would just be awfully uncomfortable if somebody did something to me and I went and go like stand in a precinct and just say, hey, this is the guy that shot me. I would be uncomfortable. You understand? And it's not any trying to be tough thing. It's just like where I come from and how we handled stuff growing up. Like, I was just never the person to subscribe to that, like, because I'm a civilian, I can't tell. Like, no. And now I'm only speaking for myself. You feel what I'm saying? If you feel like you a civilian, you a tax-paying 9-to-5 citizen, and something happens to you, you want to go tell the police, you're well within your right to do that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to discourage anybody from doing that. But me particularly, I would feel very uncomfortable, doing that. You understand? Standing in the precinct, giving details. Yo, this person, like, I would feel uncomfortable doing that. That's just me. You feel me? So, I don't see how people who are from the streets and like of that street cloth, I don't get how y'all are comfortable doing this. You understand? That confuses the hell out of me. Y'all are the ones that's supposed to be this, whole underworld, and y'all doing XYZ, and y'all stick to the code, and y'all gang this, gang that. But y'all be being awfully comfortable being on the stand telling, being in precincts pointing people out. Like, what are you doing? You feel what I'm saying? And then coming into something like battle rap and portraying to be, the toughest guy in the world. And it's like, it really gives like Alpo vibes. Like, oh, I'm a tell, but because I'm like that XYZ, like, no, you still told. Nobody's gonna respect you after you told. You feel what I'm saying? So, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I think Bad Newz career is over. Like, I think it's done. A couple of things I got to think about when somebody has a situation that's in like such a black and white situation where it's clear as day, like, yo, this is what it is, right? League on the books Bad Newz. Say he books Bad Newz versus Joe Schmo, right? Let's say you book some people who are of that cloth and are of that caliber also on the card, right? Card comes out, oh, Bad Newz on it. This guy told. People start backing out of battles. You understand? We have a lot of people in this culture that, come from that environment, come from the streets. And if they are booked on a card with somebody who did something like that, they're not going to be comfortable being in the room with that man. You feel me? So they're going to be like, nah, we good. You feel me? So that's one of the things that you have to worry about being a business owner and booking somebody like that. Then, and this is stuff that, is all public. So I don't want to try to like feel like I'm like tarnishing his name or nothing like that. But you jumping in interviews talking about if anybody rap about it, like it's up, like it's going to go left after that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, who are you to be trying to control what people rap about? You understand? This is battle rap. There's freedom of speech. It's a form of expression. And also, you're rapping about the person that you're standing across from. You have a highly publicized situation of you telling. You think you're going to go into a battle with anybody in the United States of America and they're not going to rap about it? It's just like, come on. You feel me? So, when I start to see stuff like that, right, I'm just like, nah. I don't think it's a safe thing to book somebody like that, because forget the accountability thing. Just look at it from an art form standpoint. You trying to control what people rap about, and you're saying if people rap about it, you're not even saying, oh, like on some good shit, like how Goods do with his daughter. I guess in his contracts he put that people can't rap about it, whatever the case is. You're not even going that length. You're just straight up saying that if somebody decides to rap about your situation, that you're going to, pop on them or whatever the case is. And it's like, how do you expect to get booked after saying something like that? How do you expect the league owner to take you seriously? Like, and I'm speaking as a league owner, you feel me? Somebody who's booked you before. How do you expect somebody, even if it's a league owner that wants to say, you know what, forget the snitching situation. I rock with Bad Newz as a person. I don't care about the snitching shit. I want to still see him battle. I want to book him. Suppose the person is willing to let the snitching shit slide, which should be a blessing in this, because you see what happened to Adi Boom. He never came back, right? Somebody's going to let that slide, but yet still, they have to worry about you possibly messing their event up because their opponent wants to rap about it. You feel me? Like, that to me is some sucker shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't respect that at all. You feel me? And I feel like somebody who's moving like that and is publicly saying that, oh, they're going to mess an event up over some shit that, they got caught doing, I feel like you shouldn't be booked after that. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's just real shit. Like, you can't, y'all can't publicly do and say these things on these platforms and then be mad that people are responding and reacting to it. Like, all that street shit go out the window when you quote unquote street niggas is on the internet. You understand? If once you on the internet talking about shit, please do not street what clones say, don't talk me to death. Do not street nigga me to death. That's about to be my thing. I think I'm gonna take that. I think that's gonna start being my thing. Do not street nigga me to death, because I do not care about that once you guys on the internet. You understand? If you a street individual or whatever you claim to be, handle street stuff away from the internet. Handle it in the streets where it's supposed to be. Once you start coming to the internet, I don't want to hear the street guy thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga would be on the internet talking about, I'm not one of these internet niggas, but you're on the internet. Like, what are you talking about? You feel what I'm saying? So, just stupid shit that people say and do that make me just like, be like, nah. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, the whole Bad Newz thing, I'm not really respecting like how he's moving with the whole situation. So, I personally feel like his career is over. You know what I mean? You might see it in the title. I'm asking a question, is his career over? But no, his career is over. Can't see nobody booking him after this. You feel me? So, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Me personally, it's sad to see him go out this way. You know, especially thinking that he was one of them official ones. And we're not going to sit up here and act like Bad Newz was saying like some of the most amazing shit in his battles. He wasn't. I genuinely feel like a lot of people that rock with Bad Newz rock with him because of how he carried himself and the aura that he gave off. I feel like he was one of them stand-up individuals. You feel what I'm saying? So look how far he made it, right? Without really being attached to URL. Like, he was in them circles. He was with the twerks and dots, and they all was cool or whatever, had this little camaraderie, and he wasn't really like a mainstay on URL. You feel me? Like, he would battle there every once in a while, but that wasn't really like his main his main hub to, perform out of. So it's just like people felt like you was one of them type of dudes, and then, they see this paperwork, and now that's all out the window. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think everybody's well within their right to, feel how they feel. Y'all seen Hitman, he jumped on Spaces, crashing out him versus Tex, which that was stupid. I felt like Tex, it was dumb to kind of insinuate Bags and Bodies knew anything about that. Like, even if you were joking, that's still not something you put on the jackets of others. You feel me? Because that has, you have no concrete way of knowing that. So to even just throw something out there, even assuming that was a thing with other people, especially people like Hitman Holla, who's Hitman Holla's a blood, right? So he's going to feel a way about you associating him with that and saying like, oh, people knew and, all this other shit. So, I think Tex just made himself look stupid by doing that. You know what I mean? And then had to basically walk his way back, from the, the comments that he said, and kind of had to cop a plea and, XYZ. But this is the kind of shit that, the Bad Newz situation is causing. You feel what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I think Bad Newz career is over. I think he's done. Like I said, he wasn't really saying the most amazing shit, and I think a lot of people booked him because of how he carried himself. And once you lose that, why are people booking you? Bad Newz was never really the guy that, like, when you seen him on the card, you were like super interested. Like, if he wasn't the A side of a battle, then, like, if he was the A side of the battle, you wasn't interested. Like, if it was Bad Newz versus, some little guy from up the street, you're not interested. You more interested in Bad Newz when he goes up against like the Tay Rocks and the Shotgun Shugs and, those kind of names, because, those names are basically bigger than his. So people are tuning in for them, but because they know Bad Newz is, kind of an established artist, they're going to, give him a chance as well. And that allows him to make these moments. But when he's going up against these smaller names, you're not really super checking for Bad Newz. You feel me? So I think in terms of reputation, once you lost that, now people don't have a reason to book you. You feel what I'm saying? So, I like I said, for umpteenth time, his career is over. I don't see anybody booking him anymore. I don't see him, being on he definitely not going to be on no major platforms. I don't see him being on URL. don't see him being on RBE. It's like, who's gonna book him at this point? You feel what I'm saying? So I know he got the battle with Riggs coming up, and then it's like, you gonna tell Riggs what he can and can't rap about? And I don't know what kind of rapport Bad Newz and Riggs have together, but it's like, I expect Riggs to rap about that shit, and I believe Riggs is kind of like that. So I don't see Bad Newz trying to, take shit left if Riggs raps about it. But I don't know. I don't even want to put that shit in the air. If this battle's gonna happen, then let Bad Newz do this last battle, and then he be, on his way out the door. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, he did get paid. A league owner don't want to lose no deposit. And, niggas obviously still want to get the battle done, but it's like, let that be his last one. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because it's no way that he, is just, he just tarnished his whole legacy. Like, all that shit he was doing, he was on, I forgot, what was that shit they was filming that John was helping conduct with JD. He was on that. I think the rap game, I think Bad Newz was on that. He got battles with millions of views, and it's like, all that's out the window now. You feel what I'm saying? So, that's just my thoughts on that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I could have sworn I had one more thing that I wanted to add in reference to that situation. Oh, the whole controversy with him and Dot. That was a crazy, like, looking at the type of person that Dot is, especially like my personal relationship with Dot, knowing that I really had to go find Dot. Like, if y'all remember when that article came out and he got locked up in Maine, I had no idea where Dot was around that time. Right? And then I seen that article, and I had to get in contact with his lawyer. There were certain things that the lawyer was asking me in reference to Dot that kind of helped Dot be able to, like, get bailed out and shit like that. And Dot stood tall during that whole situation. Like, he did his time. He wasn't, trying to tell on nobody or nothing like that. Like, he did what he had to do in that situation. And when I look back at the controversy that he had with Bad Newz, and I'm looking at, it's just optics wise. You feel me? How Dot never brought that shit to the internet. You feel what I'm saying? Bad Newz did. Bad Newz was the one who had his man record their little fight. Bad Newz was the one who was either him or he had the phone propped up or had somebody recording they little interactions or whatever in the hotel room. You feel what I'm saying? That's like police type shit. So when it comes out that you told, you look crazy. You feel me? That looks insane. You feel me? Especially now that there's a clear difference between y'all two characters, Bad Newz being the person that told, and then Dot being the person that stood tall. Yeah, Bad Newz, you look crazy. You look crazy, and we should be able to erase that whole controversy that Dot had to go through because niggas were trying to tarnish his name, and that was one of the first things that made me kind of look side eye Bad Newz, like, all right, this is a little crazy, and it's not just because of my personal affiliation with Dot, but it's just the tactics that he was going about, like propping the phone up and recording and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, this is weird coming from somebody who is supposed to be XYZ, claiming a certain thing, and supposed to be street and stuff like that. But then this comes out, and I'm like, what? You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was really all I had to speak on, in terms of that situation. I keep on saying that, but then I keep having more to add. A lot of people was getting that av about not, quote unquote, completing the job. Me personally, this is how I look at it, right? Av is a person who comes to every battle with 3 complete rounds locked and loaded, right? He doesn't freestyle. You can tell he's a person who really relies heavily on preparation, right? We have some people who freestyle. You have your people like Charlie Clips, Hollow the Dawn, etc. You have those people who we know can freestyle. Big Cannon, Chef Trash, Sharon. We have these people that we know can freestyle. Then we have people that we know never freestyle, right? They never freestyle. Av never freestyles. Tay-Rock never freestyles. Like, there's a lot of people that never freestyle, and their material is straight up, this is home cooked. I prepared this over the last month or 2 months that we've been locked in. Like, there's certain people who are just sticking to that, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, when an angle comes out on somebody like the Bad Newz thing, 3 days before Av is supposed to battle him, Av already got his rounds locked in. You expect him to go in there and now start to craft a whole nother 3 rounds in 3 days that he has to now remember and, shit like that? No. I don't expect that. You feel what I'm saying? So to say Av didn't, quote unquote, complete the objective, first of all, the crowd was ass. However long they was there, I don't know if maybe they were tired or maybe they were just silent, waiting for shit to go left, or waiting for somebody to provide like a decent explanation as to this whole paperwork situation with Bad Newz. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. But if you're judging a battle based off crowd reaction, that's not what that battle was for. You feel what I'm saying? Because the crowd was dead. But if we're going from a bar standpoint, and I'm just speaking on bars, I'm just speaking on material, Bad Newz had a couple of fire lines. I'll never forget the line that I thought was his best line. It was something about him throwing up GD, and it was a line referencing a fork. I never took the fork in the road or something like that. That bar, I thought that was Bad Newz' best bar of the battle. You understand? But he had a couple of, joints in there. But after what you got exposed for, the shit's not going to work. You feel me? He got zero reaction. Av was in there. To me, Av was going crazy. I don't know if y'all are looking for crowd reaction. I don't know if y'all looking for maybe the Av had a little more energy or whatever. But I'm going strictly off of writing and bar standpoint. Av was wilding on Bad Newz. Feel me? There's not a round that I thought Bad Newz won at all. You feel what I'm saying? So I think people should have kind of eased up on Av a little bit. You can't expect much from him with an angle like that coming out 3 days before the battle. It's just not realistic. You feel what I'm saying? While some people could have did it, Av is not one of those people who could have. So, and that's just what it is. That was out of his control. It wasn't like he was sent the paperwork and then, it went public and then he just, never used it. Like, no, he didn't know nothing about that. So you can't really put that on him to now, 3 days before the battle, construct entirely new rounds. Like, come on. You feel what I'm saying? So then if he would have did that and he would have been stumbling through it and choking and looking at his phone, y'all would have killed him. Y'all would have killed him because let's say Bad Newz showed up how he showed up. Av stumbling and fumbling all through the rounds. Now y'all going to be killing Av talking about, oh, you lost the battle to a snitch. That's what y'all are going to be saying. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes I got to pick a side, man. Sometimes I got to think a little more logical and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And yes, that's my last time saying that. But that's really all I had to say about this, man. Bad Newz career is over. He did what he did. I personally don't think, it's worth it to be booking him anymore. And that's just my feelings on it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I'm not, trying to be on some, I'm trying to take food out of his mouth or whatever the case is. But it is what it is, man. Once you start threatening that you're going to be messing up events, if people rap about something, you don't need to be here. You feel me? You don't need to be battle rapping. If that's how you're going to try to control things. You feel what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think. I'll holler at y'all soon. I'm out of here.